to take you to Parliament, where the Appointments Committee is vetting some appointees of the Supreme Court by President Akufo-Addo appointees to be judges of the Supreme Court. Let's take you there now.
For evoke the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court for interpretation. That one is decided. And then I think I'll deal with this by the section, Article 22 of the Constitution on the rights of spouses. I think we've all discussed this on and off, and we have all lamented from our side that Parliament is keeping long to pass the bill that is pending before Parliament on that. And in the courts, we've been trying to do what we can. So, so I think it is about time that we look carefully at that bill and pass it so that it will guide us in determining those matters. It's very important.
Determine which matters. His primary concern was equity and fair distribution of property rights. What is your take on that, my lord?
That's what the provision under Article 22 says, you know, but the circumstances of each case determines what the court says. I tried the Mensa and Mensa case at the trial court. That is in Mensa, the recent one. And it went up to the appeal court and then to the Supreme Court. And that's where the equality is equity principle has been emphasized, you know. But when you look at the facts of that case, the decision by the Supreme Court is fair and just. But the circumstances of another case may not be the same. But if you have a law, it will guide the parties themselves as they acquire property. They know that, okay, what we are doing now, this is what we want to do. Probably we want to acquire this together, but I want to acquire this for myself, for my family. Those kind of things. So we need guidance. It will help the parties, it will help the courts.
Chairman, Parliament have taken note, and our chairman in particular have taken additional note once it's coming from very respected appeal court. My lord, but in practice, have you been influenced by circumstance of your gender? You are among very few women to rise to this high calling of Justice of the Supreme Court, having gone through the road. Have there been instances that having listened to a man and a woman, your natural sympathy will be where I suspect it is?
No, I will not say so, because I look at the facts before me, you know, and I don't think so. It depends on the evidence I have and the law that I have to apply.
Yes, my second question, short question, is about international agreements. We've had several cases and situations where agreements between, most of the time, the state and international bodies are thrown out of the Supreme Court because they did not seek the approval of Parliament. But sometimes these agreements are then sent to arbitration or international courts. The decision of the Supreme Court is reversed more or less. What do you think should be the situation?
The requirement is that where the agreement is international in nature, Parliament approval must be obtained. I think that's where we work from. That's the angle the courts work from.
I'm saying that what advice would you give beyond, if it doesn't come to Parliament, the Supreme Court will reject it. But beyond Ghana, some of these agreements end up being enforced or recognized.
Depends on what goes on in the agreement whilst you are negotiating. That's what I think.
Very well. Honorable Dr. Helen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and congratulations. Somebody I can even think of as a sister, because I've known you for several years, and doing better. And my first question is a minor one, and that born out of curiosity. We are all from the Northern Volta side, and for us, somebody born on Tuesday is called Abra, but on your CV, I see Abla, which is from the Southern sector. Can you explain to me when you change? Because we are all, I know you should be Abra, not Abla.
On some of my documents, it's Abra, but I've realized that my passport has Abla. So I've just kept that one on my CV. But on some of my documents, on my certificates, you see Abra. But it's the same thing.
My Lord, what is your name? My Lord, are you Abra or Abla? Which one? Kindly speak to the mic, please.
It is the language difference. It is Abra or Abla. It can be anything. It's the same thing.
Very well. We will go by what is in your passport.
Yes.
That's your ID document, right? Very well. Yes, Honorable Helu, please.
My question also is about how have you been able to mentor other women or young ladies in the legal profession? Have you done it in the past? And how do you intend to even continue doing more?
The only opportunity I have as a judge to talk to young professionals is at a training school. And I've been a resource person in the training school, JTI, when new judges are brought on board. But with the bar, I don't think I have had the opportunity to talk to any one of them. But those that I know personally, yes, we interact and I advise them on the profession, but not on official front, no.
Well, I hope you're going to take it up. You know, as we grow older and we exit, we should be able to get people to replace us. My last question is about your religious inclinations. I know you're married to a reverend minister, and you yourself also do preach in church. I've been to your church, and you did a lot of preaching, and you are very religious, I should say. Has that in any way affected your legal profession? Yesterday we had somebody from the Full Gospel Businessmen's Fellowship who demonstrated that his religion really affects his work. He uses it in his work. What about yourself? Do you use your religion as a way of getting to people in court?
Yes. Number one, the integrity. The background of the integrity is my belief. And so I believe that, okay, as a Christian, I cannot do this, I cannot do that. And therefore, that I think that's kept me on my toes. And then the commitment and dedication with which you do your work. It is a fear of God in you. That will make you sympathize with those who are in court for years. And you want to sit up, kill yourself to make sure that the cases move on. So I think that is the way my religious background affects my work.
Chairman, are there times that the God in you, there is sympathy for wrongdoers?
Yes. You temper justice with mercy.
You are done. Yes, Honorable Deputy Minister for Education.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chair, and congratulations, Madam Nominee. I am sure the women on this committee are very much impressed to see a woman rise through the rank to this, and the men are also very impressed. but a colleague just prompted me, told me that, hey, Mami, wait, there was some between any. Yeah, that is on the lighter side. You have such an impressive CV, and looking at where you started and where you are now, I am sure you might have gathered some experiences. Would you want to share with us the experiences you've gathered that would, help you in your new portfolio if approved by Parliament? Thank you.
On the
it looks like it's not working.
It's not working.
No, it's not working.
Yeah, I've gathered a lot of experience from the magistrate level to this level, and I know that will help me in my new level. Because as you go through, whatever flows from the bottom comes up to you. So if you know the procedures and all that has been in the bottom, when you're on the top and it comes before you, it's easier to deal with them. So my long experience is really, really something I'll depend on in my new job.
Thank you very much. In recent past, the Court of Appeal was decentralized, and I'm sure you are aware. I know we have one in Cape Coast, Kumasi, but it appears